Hi, today is November 24th, 2025, and here are my poems for the day. The first one is poem number 1824 for the year, Basic Vacuum Tubes and Their Uses. If you're like me, you probably haven't spent a lot of time wondering about basic vacuum tubes and their uses. But if you're not like me and you have wondered about such things, have I got a book for you. It's called Basic Vacuum Tubes and Their Uses. Now, don't worry, this book is not full of irrelevant information about fancy schmancy vacuum tubes. Only the basic ones. Only the vacuum tubes that other vacuum tubes are always saying you're basic to. This book does, nor will this book tell you about ways in which you can't use basic vacuum tubes. This book does two things, and it does both of them well. It tells you about basic vacuum tubes, and it tells you what uses to which they can be put. No frills, no surprises. The book is as basic as the vacuum tubes it describes. Although other books don't say to this book, you're basic, presumably because books are more polite than vacuum tubes. Anyway, that's about all there is to say about basic vacuum tubes and their uses. The book, that is, not the tubes and their uses. That's really all there is to it. Poem number 1825, Memory Fools. Sometimes, rather than failing me, my memory fools me, and I remember things that never happened. For example, I remember seeing 2 New Year's Eve shows with Patti Smith at the Palladium, but the other day I learned that she only played the Palladium on New Year's Eve once, in 1976. But I have a distinct memory of her singing You Light Up My Life at the Palladium, and I could have sworn that happened on New Year's Eve, 1977 or 78. But either that happened on some other date or at some other venue, or maybe it never happened at all. Poem number 1826, Fooling Memory. Sometimes rather than failing me or fooling me, I fool my memory. I have my memory almost completely convinced that I spent many a lazy summer evening holding hands with Mary Lou while rocking on Grandma's porch swing, gazing at the moon. But I never knew a Mary Lou, and Grandma never had a porch swing, and it was always overcast at Grandma's. You almost never saw the moon. So when I recall those days with Mary Lou, I pat myself on the back for so successfully fooling my memory. Poem number 1827, Unforgettable. He was never able to remember what it was about her that made her so unforgettable, but he was never able to forget how unforgettable she was. And the last poem of the day, poem number 1828, Dream? I didn't write the title down. I'll come up with one. Poem number 1820. I had a show on Saturday that I dreamed that I missed. On Saturday morning, I dreamed that I slept until 7:30 in the evening, and the show was at 5. In the dream, I wrote to the guy who had set up the show and apologized. Then, for some reason, there was another guy who needed help moving some luggage, so I helped him move his luggage. It's interesting how uninteresting some dreams can be. What will I call that? Interesting? Maybe I'll call that poem interesting. Anyway, thank you. I appreciate you.